Nigeria is still reeling after militants reportedly gunned down 32 people and kidnapped nearly 200 others in a remote village in the country's northeast. It's not far from Chibok, where hundreds of schoolgirls were abducted earlier this year. Officials have blamed Boko Haram for the latest attack. We get more now from our West Africa correspondent, Adaure Achumba. Adaure, great to have you with us. Are details getting clearer? Do we know what the latest is?
Good evening. Well, Nigerians are outraged. They're wondering how it is still possible that many villagers, about 200, we're being told, could be kidnapped just about 20 kilometers away from Chibok. Now, Chibok is the area, the village, where the more than 200 schoolgirls were kidnapped in April by the Boko Haram insurgents. And this time, another such attack. The insurgents were told stormed the village of Gumsari in Borno State on early Sunday morning, razed down the village, killed about 32 men, most of them vigilante fighters who had tried to prevent the attack, and then went ahead to kidnap about 185 women, children, amongst them boys as well, and some young men. They were kidnapped and they were driven towards Sambisa Forest. Now, Sambisa Forest has featured many times because that was the same nation that the Chibok girls were allegedly taken to before they were separated into groups and scattered across the northeast, even into neighboring Niger and Chad.
Now, you're saying Nigerians have reacted, quite not well, really, to this news. Who would? But what have authorities said about this latest incident, apart from thinking that it's Boko Haram that has carried out this latest attack?
Well, Boko Haram hasn't come out to claim that it has carried out this specific attack, but witnesses say it bears the hallmark of the insurgents group. The Nigerian government has come out to condemn the incident, the kidnapping, saying that the continued targeting of vulnerable targets such as, unarmed villagers, schools and the likes is just a cowardly act by the Islamist sect. Now, recall that the sect has been carrying out this insurgency against the Nigerian government since 2009. They say that they want to set up an Islamist Sharia state in the country. The Nigerian military declaring a state of emergency there more than a year ago and carrying out the military operation that doesn't seem to be making much of a difference, because in as much as there are some successes that have come by, it seems that as the days and weeks and months go by, that the Boko Haram sect continues to carry out such drastic and dastardly attacks as the one on Sunday.
Adaure, what's the solution? We saw the sentencing of soldiers who came out and said that we just simply can't deal with these people. We're overwhelmed. Are the authorities actually sympathetic to this? Are they beefing up their reserves in order to tackle this issue?
Well, there is an ongoing military action in the northeast, in the 3 states there, Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno. The military says it continues that, that offensive against the Islamist sect. But the question is, how exactly is this happening? Because we see that in the same vicinity where they're supposed to have some kind of coverage, we hear of constant and persistent attacks. For example, Chibok has been in the news since April because of the initial kidnapping of those more than 200 schoolgirls, and this village, Gumsari, is just about 20 kilometers away. If that area was covered as we are being told, how is it that trucks and militants can be moving in these areas and continuing their attacks? These are some of the questions that Nigerians, as well as people watching the situation, are asking. Again, many people are saying election is around the corner. It is distracting a lot of people, and you know that the leaders are not taking this issue seriously. So there is that outrage there, and they keep saying that they're on top of the situation, but that's little of that is being seen.
That was Adaure Achumba in Nigeria for us with the latest attack in Gumsuri that happened on Sunday. Right.